welcome to our Inside Texas show on beautiful Sunday, Coach. It's hot out there. I'm not gonna lie, especially when you're out there getting. Gotta take. You're muted, Coach. Sorry, you muted there. Gotta get Coach unmuted. Yeah, it's
There we
hot,
go.
Coach. You look a little cooler than I do. I just been getting took a licking on the flag football field. You look a little more calm and at peace than me.
Yeah, look, I'm not going outside either. I don't need I don't need a tan. And, I grew up in the heat, East Texas. You know how it is. I'm not trying to go outside.
Yeah. Kind of wish I wouldn't have gone outside today either, but it is what it is. We had fun out there. Hey, fellas and gals, welcome to the show. Make sure you're checking out that Inside Texas $1 promo to you new subscribers, and you're getting 50% off a yearly subscription once that first week runs out. Come spend the offseason with Inside Texas. You got all the fine works of Coach Charlie Williams over there, Justin Wells. Obviously, you got, baseball commits coming in right now. You got Nash and Evan doing their thing. You got basketball recruits and reclassifications. Never a better time to spend $1. Come over there and get you a sub with Inside Texas. Coach and I, he wrote a beautiful article the other day, basically breaking down the 2027 class and who is going to come in and immediately, hey, this kid's playing. This kid's getting time on the field. Immediate impact in the program. Hey, and then guys that are going to come, and maybe it's 2 years, maybe it's 3 years, and that's not a problem, right? You got to have those guys. You got to have your projects. You got to have your long-term developmental types. And again, position by position, Coach, you're going to have more or less of those players, right? Yeah, correct.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, let's start with maybe a long-term development, or maybe it's a guy that's joining a class in a position group that, hey, it's a crowded room and there's a lot of talent. And luckily for Texas, there are a lot of those position groups, in this football program right now. So let's talk about a guy, in your opinion. Let's start with Jason Johnson. All right. Why is Jason Johnson in your mind, Coach? And again, guys, if you missed Coach's article, go check it out. Fantastic over on InsideTexas.com. Why, in your opinion, Coach, is it going to take Jason a little while to see the field in Austin?
For me, look, you want to play grown man in the trenches, right? I don't think he's there as far as weight or strength. He plays a lot of edge in high school. Texas is going to move him inside, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to take it 2, maybe 3 years to develop him. Now, he has a lot of traits. He has long arms, quick get off, can get after the quarterback. But when it comes to playing versus the run, especially in the SEC, you have to add some bulk to your body and some lower body strength to kind of compete and hold those double teams and take on those big offensive linemen. I think his body isn't there yet. So I want to see which way his body goes and develops before I can say, hey, you're going to be a day one starter. Plus, the defensive line room is very, very stacked. I don't know if you know, it's we got guys like Justice Terry who barely got on the field last year, right? We got Myron Charles, you got Josiah Straumer here. We got a lot of talent in that room that's fighting for playing time right now, fighting for snaps. And they continue to bring guys in from the portal. And so if you don't have to play young guys, don't put them out there, especially a young guy who hasn't fully developed in body-wise yet to even match what he's going to be playing. So I think for those 2 reasons, I think he's a 2 to 3 year guy. Maybe redshirt sophomore year. Now he's probably in the 2 deep.
Yep. I mean, it's one of 2 ways, Coach. And more times than not, it's just one way. When your defensive tackles are coming in and not, if they get on the field early, one of those scenarios is, hey, bro's a beast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like bro is like that. He is elite in his own right. He is in the top 1%. More times than not, though, Coach, is because, like, hey, if you're getting guys on the field early, that's not a good sign for your defensive line room. It's not a good sign for your rotation, for the depth of that rotation. And so, again, like Coach just said, Texas is in a very fortuitous spot with the depth of that defensive line room. Coming out of a Toscasita coach, obviously, they play a little football over there. But like you said, you can play on the inside, right? 270, what weight are we looking at to get up to? And, again, it's going to take some time to get there, right, Coach?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's up to 290 now. I think Eric actually went by the high school this spring and got a chance to see him and see him in person. I think he's up to 290 now, but at the same time, it's just a lot more frame to kind of fill out before he's ready. But playing in the trenches, playing if they have a 3 tech, maybe a 1, maybe a 0 if they run a 3 down lineman, you're just playing true nose tackle. You want to be at least 320. But that 320, it doesn't have to look like Jafar, right? Everybody doesn't have to look like him, but it can be a solid 320. He can be stacked, low 5 body percent, but it just really depends. Can you muscle and handle the load of being in the trenches by yourself, sometimes taking on those double teams? Can you anchor when we need you to? So those are just things he has to, kind of get there and do.
Yeah. Well, and again, one more question on Jason before we move on, Coach. Like, where what do you see him excelling at in his time? If he does indeed move to the inside as projected by everyone, where does, is he going to line up, and does he have a chance to play nose like Ian Jaffard? Is he going to be a guy that maybe he plays a really good 2-eye? Like what's maybe in, a specialty of Jason's, just for those that don't know?
If we ran a traditional forefront, I would like him as a 3 tech just because it's get off
Yep.
and long ones. I think you put him in a one-on-one situation versus a guard with some years of development. I think he wins that matchup almost every time, right? Because just he has an elite get off for his frame, his size, and so I see him as a true 3 tech, right? Only when we run a 4 down defensive lineman. I don't really see him in the mix right now. Just looking at him as a 3 down lineman, right? I wouldn't want to put him out there. I wouldn't want to put him against a double team. I think
Yep.
he's guys who can kind of benefit going one-on-one versus a guard or center.
Yep. Yeah. Well said. And again, you talk about a guy that, again, love to hear the updated weight at 290.
Yeah.
You're not going to take on many double teams there. You know what I mean? They're going to probably play you one-on-one straight up, right there, and trust their center or guard there. But hey, appreciate you
Mhm.
being here, Marley, throwing a comment in there. Glad to see your name in the chat every Sunday, man. Appreciate you being here, brother. Coach, let's go to a name that might have had some immediate impact. All right, Texas is pretty stacked at corner, coach. Rumors of being 5, 6 deep, guys that could get out there and compete against SEC wideouts. What's it going to look like when John Meredith rolls into Austin?
Look, these are one of the situations where you're going to force a coach to play you, right? Like it can be a log jam in the room, tons of talent, but Meredith has a high ceiling. He has the talent to basically push his way into a rotation as soon as he gets there. Now you're gonna lose some people, right? You're gonna lose a Bo Masco, right? Kobe Black did go to safety. I know Jermaine Bishop has been playing some DB, but you got Samari Matthews and Kay Phillips and Grayson Littleton who'll be there. When he gets there, they'll all be going to their junior years. They
Mm-hmm.
may be, 3 and done, right? You have Samari Matthews there. You got Ward, you got some other guys, but Meredith is a guy. He's going to come in January because he graduates early, and I think he pushes his way into a rotation, and you won't have a choice but to
Yep.
play him or force a way to find him on the field, right? In situations. Plus, we got this thing called NIL. You want to return on investment, right? If he's good enough and you're paying him like he's good enough, you want to put him on the field, and that's just business one-on-one, right? Return on investment. So I think his talent warrants him playing early. He has to go in there and improve, right? He has to show he can be consistent and live up to the ranking and all of that. But I think he does. And once he gets there, once he gets to Texas and rolls and all in January, I think he's the guy just going to push for playing time right away.
Again, there's a reason John Meredith was so coveted, not just by Texas fans, but by Texas coaches, all college coaches across the nation, and has been that way for several years. Love to hear that about Meredith. Let's talk about something. Hey, is he going to have great press ability? Is he going to be a ball hawk coach? Let's talk about a couple of things that John Meredith does really, really well that's going to demand and earn early playing time in Austin.
Yeah, look, I know everybody sees Meredith, see the long arms. He wants to play man press a lot. He'll get up in your face and press you, but he can play off. He's very comfortable playing off coverage as well, right? He can bag up 5-7 yards and be comfortable. He's not worried about you running by him, right? He understands leverage, how to use his body, use the sideline technique. He'll squeeze you to the sideline. I saw him do it so many times in person. A receiver think, oh, I can go around you, can get outside. But he'll use that sideline and really just squeeze you all the way out of bounds a lot of times. But he's comfortable playing zone, right? You talk about a lot of kids playing DB. Either they're not really a man corner, so they play a lot of zone in high school, or they play a lot of man. They play a lot of zone, right? Because they can't play man and vice versa. He can do both. And he has a high IQ, and he trains that way. There's a couple of clips on Twitter of him right now, kind of playing cover 2 with the trap. He's a trapping hard or soft and playing a cloud flat, and he'll look like he's carrying defender up the field, and he'll turn around and come play the flats and get an interception. He has the ability to kind of break on the ball. He understands. He'll carry receiver so far, right? Like he's covering him across the field on a shallow cross or anything like that, but then he'll get back out, get the curl flats. Like he understands route concepts, and he'll bait a quarterback too. He did an OT 7-on-7 championship, and he baited plenty of quarterbacks. He kind of ran like a wheel route, right? He had the cloud flat. He acted like he's going to chase the crosser, but then he flipped back and had the cloud flat and got the interception. So he understands both man and zone. He's been trained that way. He really takes it serious when it's coming to football, the X's and O's, understanding the game. And so he's kind of a rare. He can play both and succeed. It doesn't matter the scheme.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. He's got a deep bag, coach. For a man of his age, it's very impressive. It's not just raw athleticism. He's got great size and stature for a cornerback, prospect. That's what you want to see, especially in like modern football. We're looking at the long, lanky, rangy quarterbacks. I'm not going to call him lanky. He's rangy, man. He can cover a lot of ground, deep bag, man. And that's really, really impressive. It's not just, again, it's not raw athleticism. There's so much technique and the technical side of it is very, very impressive from Meredith. The IQ of it, another thing, a little bit of a coach on the field or quarterback on the field, coach on the field. You know what I mean? Like he knows what he's doing. It seems like he really understands the assignments, not just of his, but everybody in the secondary. Sounds coachy.
I want to add this. I know everybody saw the clip of him at the Nike Open in Oregon, like the receiver beat him at the line of scrimmage. If you pay attention to it, look at the angle he got back into play. Most people, they trail right behind the receiver and get stacked. He took an angle to get right back into the play, right, and got it and right in the throwing window, made the receiver miss the ball. So he understands, okay, yeah, you beat me off the line, but he forced the receiver out wide, and then he took an angle to get back underneath, right in the pass lane, versus trailing behind the receiver, which would have put him behind the receiver and let the receiver a lot of room to catch the ball. He took a great angle, got on the hip, and got right in the throwing lane. So he understands, yeah, you beat me at the line of scrimmage, that's fine. What happens after the play? He got right back in it because he took the proper angle. And that's coaching and applying what you've been taught.
I need a coach to come talk to my 1 and 2 Bengals. Me and Coach Kenny would appreciate you. Come over here. We just got lit up by little Will Vogel. I think he ran for like 300 yards. We need angle help, Coach. Come in there and talk to him. We'll get you and John Meredith, and we'll go to work. We'll do it. We'll do Bengals and Longhorns camp. No, but there you go, guys. I mean, again, just more reasons as to why people are so high on John Meredith. And if you did see that clip, yeah, he got beat off the line. Play's not over. Play's far from over. And you could tell he busted his butt. He took the proper angle. Like Coach just said, you trail that receiver, you're not going to be you're going to be a step, maybe a step and a half behind. There's very little chance he's able to get back involved, at least on the ball, and make a play there to, cause an incompletion. So, hey, man, excited to have him in our boat, Coach. It's going to be a lot of fun figuring out the quarterback situation in the future. And it's a fun one right now, man. They're in a really, really good spot. Guys, we're going to hear from Andre the Lawyer. Thanks for sponsoring our Sunday show, Andre, and we'll be right back.
Texans know when you're injured, there's one name that gets results: Andre the Lawyer. Trust the team that has secured millions for their clients and helped thousands of Texans win their injury cases. Car wrecks, slip and falls, 18-wheeler accidents, on-the-job injuries, wrongful deaths. Don't let the insurance companies tell you what your claim is worth. Andre the Lawyer will fight for you. His principal office is in Dallas, but they serve Texans throughout the state. So don't wait. Call 214-444-8808. That's 214-444-8808. Contact info is in the description.
Cotton, my man, good to see you in here as always. And yeah, playing pool will definitely help you with angles. I don't know if it's going to help you on the flag football field, but we'll try anything after today, man. But no, let's keep on going, Coach. We're going to do a couple more guys, one on each side, guys that might be a little bit longer of a development, and then maybe another immediate impact player. Coach, give me another long-term development guy. And again, I feel like I'm almost knocking on when I say that. It's not long-term. It's just, hey, you know what I mean? There's certain positions you can get away with getting in and getting on the field early. You're going to see that a quarterback, running back, maybe a little bit of receiver. Safety a little bit more difficult unless you're an absolute menace and freak like Caleb Downs. Like that guy is a robot, and you're not going to see that very often. So give me another guy, Coach, in your mind that, maybe, again, like another 2 or 3 years before we see him really making an impact for the program.
Yeah, I'll probably go Derwin Fields. He's an edge. And there's a couple reasons, right? I would say the first is the edge room is deep. There's a lot of guys at edge, right? Even in the same class as him coming in, when Cameron Hall and Jabarius Gerard, right? So you got a lot of guys coming in with you. And you got guys on the team. You still have a Lance Jackson there. You still have Zena Umeozulu there. You have, just Terry can go out there and play for our you got a lot of guys playing edge, right? That I think he has to climb up the depth chart for. So that's one reason. Two, I think he needs to add to his bag. He's more of a power rusher, but at 220 pounds, you can't really be a power rusher at the next level, right? You can get ragdoll a little bit. So I think he has something he has to develop up in his game. Not saying that he can, but I think a little bigger, a little stronger. If you're definitely going to be a power rusher, because you're not really a speed edge rusher like that. So if you're going to be a power rusher kind of play, got a guy to set the edge, be like that Lance Jackson, Barron Sorrell type of defensive end, you got to add some mass to your body. And so I just think for those reasons, he's a 2 or 3 year player. Redshirt sophomore year, maybe he's in rotation for 2 deep. Look how hard it is for somebody like Smith Orogbo, who has one of the quickest first steps on the team. Mm-hmm. Right? He's still in the mix trying to get into a 2 deep of a rotation. He does a lot of great things. They like him, but it's tough. So it's a deep room, and I think he needs to add more to his bag, which I think Lylan Clark can help him develop. But like I said, he's that standard defensive end. If you're going to be there, you got to have some mass to your body.
I mean, that's how it is, right? You see that position again. It's all like a guy moving from the outside to the inside, or an interior defensive lineman coming in. Very rarely are their bodies in the proper playing shape, not shape necessarily, but at the proper playing weight. You know what I mean? You got to put on more mass. You got to get a little bit bigger. You got to be able to take on these big tackles and guards that you're going to see in the Southeastern Conference and all over college football. Dude, Smith Rogba's got an incredible first step. It's pretty cool to see. Eventually, you know what I mean? The nation is going to get to see it. It's going to be a lot of fun there. But yeah, I just had to touch that. That's a good note from Coach. Real quick, Coach, Peter DeGray, where are the linebackers? They're going to ask you every day until you give them linebackers, Coach. I need you personally to get out there and rein in a couple linebacker commits for us. Any chance that with Josiah Poyer out of John St. Biasco and, obviously committed to USC, but Texas is working hard there.
Yeah, look, I was going to bring him up as one that they're chasing. I know he's committed to USC, so you kind of see what happens with that. I know Texas has been aggressive trying to flip him from USC. But yeah, where the linebackers at? They're on the team right now. Look, if I'm gonna keep it on, I'm gonna be real and keep it honest. You got some swings and misses out there, right? Maybe you didn't stay in touch with some guys who wanted to hear from Texas more. Now they're committed to other places like Kentucky and Notre Dame. Roman, I can't pronounce his last name. He just committed to Notre Dame yesterday, right? Texas offered him, but I asked him. We talked a little bit. He's like, I heard from Texas a little bit. Communication's picking up, but he was already ready to make a commitment. He chose Notre Dame yesterday, so it's like, we're kind of playing up from behind. But you got some young guys that they believe in, so maybe they go to the portal. Or you got Tyler Atkinson, like I see Cotton just missed. Charlie I can't think. I would say Charlie Jalek, but he's the tight end. I can't think of it. It's another linebacker from up north that's pretty good. Then you got Kosiak Paula as well. Like he looked good in the spring game, right? So you got some young guys that they believe in. But I think they'll probably go to the portal because you'll lose a Rasheem Bowles. Depending on how talented Smith plays, he could go, right? You'll lose a Justin Cryer. You'll lose a Brad Spence. That room can look very thin next year. You'll lose Darius Snow, who's in his 7th year. You can have 3 freshmen playing next year. You don't want that linebacker. Right? I don't care how talented they are, how fast they can run. Playing linebacker is difficult. Right. And so I think they'll probably go to the portal if they don't get a high school guy. I think they go to the portal even if they do flip Poyer because it'll just be a room full of young guys.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You probably, in my humble opinion, I don't think you want to have a program that relies year in and year out on just reloading through the portal. Obviously, I don't think that's the way to go as a program, but specifically like in linebacker, you want to be homegrowing a couple guys, right? A couple guys you want to have under your wing and tutelage for a while and really show them, exactly what your system requires. And again, you're not going to be teaching it on the fly and, early, late springtime and dealing with transfers. But again, that's what Texas is probably going to have to do. It feels like we're pretty close to punting on. And again, I'm never going to rule out a late flip for this staff with anybody. You know what I mean? They can turn a random rock over and pull out a guy that we had no clue, that we were really targeting or even after until, all of a sudden the flip happened. So I'm not ruling that out, but it feels like we're really close to punting just on linebacker in general in this class and going the portal route. Portal to the rescue, as Cotton said. All right, Coach, we got a little more time. We're going to do one more immediate impact player. They get to campus, they getting on the football field, Coach. We talked a little before we came live, and you got confidence in Ismael Kamara. Tell me why, brother.
I do. Look, I know people may jump at me for this, but I call him a bigger athletic Trent Williams. Like, that's what it reminds me of. I know everybody said, well, I can't find film on him. Just go look at some of his teammates' film, right? And you can watch him. But this guy's a unicorn, man. Like, I haven't seen anybody like him. The way he's built, the way he moves, how dedicated he is to training. He has some of the best trainers, right? From Lane Johnson, played for the Eagles, right? I trained with Trent Williams. So he has some guys that's really training him, getting him ready. He's adapted to the East Texas mindset. Ben and Gilmer, he embraces the work. He wants to get better. That's a difference. That's because you're getting a kid with heart now. It kind of matches athletic ability. And so his size, his athleticism, his feet, the hips, the agility, the way he can bend. It doesn't overextend for a big guy. He can block smaller guys. You can't speed rush him. You can't power rush him. What do you do? Right. And so I think he's just a unicorn. And I think you put him at left tackle day one when he gets there. Now he has to come in and earn it. Right. He has to come in and earn it and do all those things. But Kelvin Banks was able to do it. I'm not calling him Kelvin Banks. Right. Kelvin Banks was a different kind of cat mentally. He came in ready. But I think Kamara has a chance to be even above what Banks was when he comes in and start day one at left tackle. He has that kind of ability.
Coach, I got on there and said he was my favorite prospect in Texas regard on the offensive line since Leonard Davis in the late '90s. Man, like I genuinely, it's because of a couple things. I mean, obviously the athleticism, the newness to football, and how far he's come already. I mean, bro, we might just line him up and run a couple red zone poster corner routes. Don't play with him right now. You got him posting on X out here running routes and looking good, doing it for, I mean, obviously for, the size and stature and where he plays. I mean, the dog in him, the want to, Coach, the thing that you said, he's from a football area, he's from a football town for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got to want to, man. And then he has all the God-given tools. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm nuts. I said that on the board too. Let me add that. I did say maybe I'm nuts, but I genuinely, I like Ismael that much. Okay, Brian, good to see you here, brother. Any IT news on, hey, Macho, we're going to keep talking about it until he commits, and then probably after, Coach. How are we looking as, we get closer and closer to Macho making his commitment?
Yeah, man, look, you got to come to IT and check us out. We've been posting nonstop about Marshawn Sales and the recruitment, but I'll say this. I think it really comes down to Texas-Indiana race here. I know he has a commitment date of July 17th. As we reported, I really think that no matter where he commits on the 17th, I think it's a race to December for him, right? I think it's a head versus a heart situation. And so who he chooses, but man, look, stay up to date with us on IT. Like we got the news on Sales, like all the way. We've been reporting on him heavy. We got a bunch of articles and things out. We've been talking about the situation. We'll continue to do so, like you just said, Cord. And I think, I don't know, man. It's a tough race between Texas and Indiana right now. So I don't want to give percentages. I don't want to, tell you which way I'm leaning or anything like that. It's tough. It's too tough to call right now.
Long story short, stay tuned and read Inside Texas, Brian. Stay over there, man. You will have plenty of updates as it comes around. Inside Texas has been way ahead of the curve on a lot of these commitments, and they're continue to do a fantastic job. Charlie, that's going to be it. That's all I got for you, man. I'm going to go let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm back to the flag fields to go scouting, man. It's serious. We're taking a loss, and we're going to run with it. Coach, thank you as always, my man. I appreciate your time. Cotton, Life After Cash Money. Love the username. Cotton, Brian, Peter, all you guys, appreciate the comments, man. We love you guys. Throw a like on the video. And yeah, man, absolutely make sure you're subscribed. Take advantage of that $1 flash sale. $1 and gets you to be a part of Inside Texas right now, and 50% off on that yearly membership after. Just in case you forgot, there's the graphic for it. $1, man. All the, again, right now, football recruiting, baseball portal, college basketball. Keep adding dudes. Sean Miller for president. I'm saying that's my guy. But yeah, no, come over there and spend some time inside Texas. But make sure you go have a great Sunday. Spend some time with friends, family, whatever you got to do. Longhorn in Omaha, Hook'em, indeed. This is Charlie and Cord signing out. We appreciate you guys. Thanks.